Hey there, it's EnderVerse. Today we are going to go over both April and March's collection. I wanted to make it March only, but the volume of great mods tempted me to compress this list into a lean, dirty great mods. Hope you enjoy it. Now without any further ado, let's dive into the video. First on the list we have Primal. This is a mod which adds plenty of animals with unique behaviors and habitats. Some of them even replace the vanilla ones like foxes and polar bears. Recently the mod was updated to add a lot more animals. First we have the cassowary, an angry bird living in the jungle and brooding her giant green egg. Anyone who approaches the cassowary or steals her egg should be ready for a fierce fight, as the cassowary launches herself on any mob or player and scratches them to death. Second species are lions. They can be found in hordes along with their babies and lioness. A lion can weigh as much as 200 kg, allowing them to pin you to the ground and eat you. If you never miss a bench press day and manage to withstand assault, you can quickly feed them raw meat, upon which the lion will get distinctive tattoos, marking it as yours. No mob or player can dare to attack you with this beast by your side, so taming it is worthwhile. Third mob we have is the snake. You've seen one getting torn apart by the cassowary, but it was actually the angry bird that initiated the assault. Snakes are neutral by nature and never bite until you stomp them with your feet. Snakes are musical creatures. By turning on the jukebox, you'll be able to feed them rabbits while they're dancing. From there, they will be your pets. You can wrap them around your neck and they will inflict weakness on your enemies as you attack them. And the final example we have is the walrus, a huge chunky meat found in packs at the ice spikes. Similar to horses, you ride them until they approve of you. Then you saddle them up and explore the deep oceans with them. Although they are very slow on the surface, they are quite fast in the water and can use a spiraling attack that deals a lot of damage. Primal is right now the best realistic animal mod you could install. It's also an active project and has so much content for its age. Definitely worth having in your ModPack, my friend. Deathkeeper is a mod that will place a grave at the site of your death. Although conventional, the mod was unique in that it places a grave with a floater when you die in the water, which is both practical and refreshing in appearance. The mod is still new, so here are two suggestions that will make it even better. First is to add support for Curious API, as well as reseating all items in their initial spot in the inventory. Second suggestion would be to tell the player the site of their death. This can make things a lot easier and less of a hassle. Crap, these flies are making me insane. I wish I could find this bloody cocoa plant already. And who do we have here? A white monkey, you don't see that often. Okay boy, any family? Sisters or brothers that I might be attacked by? No? Good relief. That's not it. This boy won't survive. Not without his tribe. And I've got plenty of space and bananas too. You hear that, boy? You're coming with me now. Your name is Saro. Saro the monkey. No, Saro, get down from there. Don't. Get down, it's dangerous, boy. Like I need more children. Here, Saro, say ah. No appetite for bananas. I thought you were a monkey. That's fine. We'll find you something. Alright boy, time for bed. This is going to be your bedroom from... Wait, no, stop. Stop climbing now. I'll see you in the morning now. You alright boy? Saro? No, crap. My fingers! I'm sorry, Saro. You only needed a psychiatrist. Crap. Mowzie's mobs added a new mob called the Elocosa. These are monkeys found screwing about in the jungle, hanging from trees and transforming into monstrous apes during nighttime. They drop their paws upon death, which can be used to inflict different effects on surrounding mobs. Very useful during combat. I really love it when Mowzie's mobs update. It doesn't happen often, but for a reason. New mobs are always as perfect and entertaining as they can be. More and more awesome mods are releasing every day. I'm sure you've picked up the habit of stacking up mods on your ModPack. To be able to host all of them, you will need a capable server. For that, I would highly recommend buying hosting. Using my code ENDER, you get 30% of your first month. And if you want to install any ModPack on either CurseForge or Modrent, you can do so with the click of a button. And you could choose precisely what version you want. This way, you can build upon an existing ModPack. It can be a smart strategy to bypass performance issues. The components here included very powerful CPUs, providing fast chunk loading, excellent entity and block performance, and a stable experience with an uptime of 99.9%. The RAMs are DDR5s of the highest frequency, and the storage units are NVMe M.2s, all for a price that starts as little as $3 per month. The support team here are on duty 24/7. Ask any question at any time and you shall get your answer. Pine Hosting has locations all over the globe, with the exception of Asia and Africa, but this shouldn't be a problem if you choose the right server. I get as low as 60 ping and I live in Morocco, a country in Africa. Be sure to try out Pine Hosting for your next server. They've been supporting our channel for the longest time and are one of the few sponsors that allow suggestions and even have a Discord server with all admins and managers that will receive your complaints with open arms. Thanks for Pine Hosting for sponsoring this video, and let's go back to modding now. Untitled Combat is a work-in-progress mod which overhauls sword fighting in Minecraft. The angle from which you attack the mobs matter and can knock back enemies to different directions. In addition, critical hits can deal a stun effect. Mobs like fixes also have access to these features and can stun or knock you back depending on their attacks. The mod is still under development and is only available for the author's patrons, though rest assured once it reaches a complete state, it will become public for everyone to try. This next mod adds create trails that stretch as far as the eye can see. The author made it so that you spawn at a station with a trailer you can use to explore just how far these rails can go. Spoiler alert, there is no end to reach. The trailer you get is very easy to control and can hold a good number of players inside. The stations are also aesthetic, with seats you can rest on and receptions at the entrance. They can also be found at every village you come across. This is one of the most explorative mods you can try. Imagine just sitting there with friends and exploring the world, making stops here and there whenever you come across something interesting. That would be an experience you'd remember for a lifetime, my friend. So try it out.
Hey, Lord above, I don't want to be a zombie, no.
Don't worry, you won't.
What?
With this mod, zombies will kill the villagers instead of turning them, and when they do, they will eat their flesh and become faster and stronger. The author left out a small chance of the zombies turning villagers. This way, the mod remains practical even in the vanilla game. This mod can be perfect for realistic zombie apocalypse mod packs. Install it if you are fond of these types of gameplays. Ah, man, is it good to turn 20. I can't wait to enjoy the best years of Desolate Wastes adds a radioactive biome with deadlogs and dead soil. The mod gives you a mask the moment you spawn. You'd be wise to wear it before entering this place. Here you will come across demolished structures as well as mutated monsters of all kinds and shapes. Things like hunchbacks, large scorpions, and vermin such as rat roaches. This mod is best paired with Irex's caves for extra atomic features, and this can be a nice way to roleplay the game Fallout. This mod adds new structures that are enforced with a lot of content from 3 mods, supplementaries, amendments, and Farmer's Delight mod. The new blocks and items really transformed the interiors of these buildings and made them quite enjoyable to explore. The outer designs of these structures are also stunning, and you don't lag when you see them, quite rare for integration mods. Though I guess the absence of Create mod is a huge factor in this regard. Tensura Reincarnated is a mod that represents the awesome isekai show That Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime. Many of you know about this mod, but not as many know that it was updated to 1.21.1. Before, it was only for 1.19.2. This mod is rich in content. Throughout your adventure, you will be coming across all kinds of structures. There are also different races to befriend, including orcs, goblins, lizardmen, and humans. One of the most challenging and exciting structures is the Demon Lord Dungeon. This is a vast and deep structure. In the middle you will be fighting a pink golem. This boss is very tough to beat, so I wouldn't recommend entering this place unprepared. Within the Tensura mod, you can get your hands on the finest armory and weaponry, forged through magic steel amongst other materials. These equipments can give you a leverage in battle, but try not to bite more than you can chew. I've enjoyed the show myself, and this mod's representation is as good as a mod could get. Make sure to install it if you are interested in role-playing Tensura show in Minecraft. To make sure I don't miss any unexpected moments while gaming or recording, I use NVIDIA's Instant Replay, which allows me to capture up to 20 minutes of replay footage. This mod adds that particular technology for the replay mod. Every time you join the world and have experienced a moment you'd like to save, you can press the hotkey for the instant replay. The mod will then capture the last 60 seconds, more or less as it is configurable, and allow you to make cinematics based on that small snippet. The mod is still just a month old, so there is this bug where it just captures the entire session. But even in this incomplete state, it can still be useful. Many times I forget to enable replay mod, so this mod can come to your rescue when that happens. Unusual Prehistory 2 was recently updated. This new patch added 11 creatures in total, the highlight being the big blue Brachiosaurus. The other 10 creatures are a variety of prehistoric animals, from carnivores to lizards to underwater creatures and more. Each one of these dinosaurs look absolutely stunning. They don't serve much purpose as of yet, but their existence helps in sculpting a beautiful and realistic prehistoric fauna. Superior combat sounds add different audio tracks for swinging the sword and using tools of all kinds. There's also a special sound for pulling the bows and shooting with the crossbows. This mod is great for immersion, but I would recommend you disable the tool sounds. It's annoying hearing it every time you mine a block. Brazilian expansion is also an animals mod, this time adding the entire Amazon forest to Minecraft. The idea here was to use jungles as the base biome for hosting all the features here. The author supplemented this place with new plants and trees, as well as a plethora of new creatures. There are aggressive animals like the jaguars, peaceful ones like the capybaras, neutral creatures like the snakes, and even tameable beasts like the ocelots. Following recent updates, the author has added a new mythical boss called Maip. This boss can be found residing deep within those ruins. Maip is a heck of a boss to fight. It's extremely powerful and durable, and can go through a second phase nearing death. The recent update also included a new gear to wear, weapons to use, as well as camping structures to explore and spend the night over. This mod is very underrated, and after the latest update, it has gotten even better and more fantastic, so be sure to give it a try if you'd like to reimagine the jungle biome in Minecraft. Visual Health is a mod that adds damage effects to all mobs, with them appearing wounded and covered in blood at low health. The effect covers even you, the player, and mobs like the Enderman have emissive purple blood. This mod is unique and will serve as a realistic and immersive damage indicator in Minecraft. Primal Frontier adds 2 prehistoric and mythical creatures that you can tame, ride, and fight with. First we have the Maip, a nocturnal apex predator. It goes wild during nighttime, killing everyone in its wake, but its strength wanes down tremendously as the sun goes up, leading to it becoming weak and docile. The Maip can be dealt with using a fork torch, as it can incinerate it to death. Alternatively, you could wait until dawn and feed it pork chops. Feeding it enough will pacify it, allowing you to saddle it up and give it a skeleton armor, making it look majestic. The Maip is quite fast. It can also leap several blocks ahead, helping you travel quickly. During combat, it will slash and bite enemies to death, as well as leap with its jaws open, eating several mobs at once. Now to the second monster to hunt and tame, that being the Antallion. This is a massive insect that is crawled up in a sand nest. Approaching the nest is a death wish. The Antallion can blind you with sand, grab you by your feet, and blend you to death. To tame this mighty insect, one must offer sacrifices through inflicting the sand effect on mobs and offering them to the Antallion. When it eats its fill, the Antallion will calm down. From there you can feed it manually and tame it. The Antallion is fast and strong. It can crawl beneath the sand and emerge, launching mobs to the sky. You can also set it up as a trap, where the Antallion will bury itself on the soil or the sand and wait for its prey. Any mob that sets foot on these bulbs is a dead mob. The mod used to only add the Maip with no functionality or taming process. It has grown quickly ever since my Jurassic Mods video, so cheers for the author. Fights&Frights is yet another underrated mod in our list. It adds 9 different mobs, each designed and animated uniquely, as well as offering a notion of special interactions and new items and tools to obtain. You can find these mobs all over the world, and you can even build some, like the reanimated boss. 9 new mobs, all prompting dedicated adventures on their own, sounds like hours of enjoyment. So give this mod a try. It only has 400 downloads as of now, and definitely underappreciated if you'd ask me. Stained Lenses is a mod which overhauls spyglasses in Minecraft. The spyglass is now useless on its own. You'll have to attach lenses and modules to get it working. The lenses here are very useful visually and even concretely, as they allow you to see through walls, see through many mobs' eyes, and even release a powerful laser beam attack. The modules, on the other hand, can help with quality of life features like increasing the zoom of the spyglass, measuring distances, and detecting nearby mobs. This mod will make spyglasses into a reliable tool useful for many things, instead of a tool that is easily replaceable with zoom-in mods. The Aether II came to expand upon the original mod and improve many of its existing features. The only dungeon implemented within the Aether II as of now is the Sentry Ruins. This place is crawling with mechanical mobs. Some of them can self-destruct, blasting you in the process. Going deeper into the Sentry Ruins, you'll be fighting the Sleeping Slider. True to the original bronze dungeon, you out to fight it with a pickaxe, and despite its limited range of motion, it can cause serious damage if it hits you. The biomes here were split into different categories, each housing special types of mobs and different flora and weather. The Maip creature was also entirely reworked. From now on, you must steal its egg and endure the Mowzie assault while at it. From there you can place it on a woven skyroad sticks and it will hatch after a while. This mod is still in its early stages. Before long, more maps and more features will be added. Subscribe to me or follow the authors not to miss those. This next mod will stand out for people fond of paleontology, as it allows you to dig out the remains of hundreds of different species. To start here, you will need to hit the caves. Here you can find ores containing fossils from different eras. When mining these ores, you will be getting the fossils of a specific creature. You can then build a platform for it, and a sign to remember its name. Then just place it. Bigger creatures will require more parts. So, happy hunting! The authors have designed these fossils to be extremely detailed and true to the real-life fossils. With enough patience and passion, you can build the most diversified and beautiful museum there is. This mod will spice up RPG modpacks, as it makes it so that skeletons could spawn with modded bows. Now you could come across a skeleton with an overpowered bow and get annihilated on the spot. This mod is designed to adapt to any project that adds new bows. So the more of those you have, the more you'll see of this mod. EdenRing is a mod adding a new dimension to Minecraft. This dimension feels like an entirely different universe, with a huge planet facing you and many floating islands with special biomes on top. This is actually a fan project porting the original EdenRing mod, which has been outdated for 3 years. The author here didn't just stop at this, we also worked towards adding new content, like this new mob, as well as gravity mechanics to simulate space a lot more accurately. EdenRing has been one of the best sci-fi mods out there. I'm glad that it got updated. Now you can try it out for yourself, my friend, and use it to roleplay a sci-fi modpack. This is a fun mod you can install that will allow you to exchange kisses with your friends. To do it, just approach one another and crouch at the same time. A heart particle will appear indicating a kiss well done. This mod isn't client-sided sadly, but it's that way so that both you and the other person could see the particle and trigger it at the same time. You could mix this mod with not enough animations, where you can crouch and pet your cat or dog. Exchanging love with them too. Both can make the game a lot more immersive and lovely. Up next we have Simply Bows. I'm sure that name rang a bell. This is a new mod developed by the same author as Simply Swords. It adds a collection of new unique bows with different abilities and buffs. You can find these bows in loot chests over at the dungeons or the temples. As mentioned earlier, each one will have a special ability, but more properties can be applied through upgrades. Things as devastating as black holes. This is just a mod to add for your mod pack, especially if you have the Simply Swords mod installed. They make a good combo together. This mod adds plenty of decorative blocks, but not in the conventional sense. Many of these blocks are functional. They could either be used to activate redstone, store water, or light up dark spaces. That aside, the static decorative blocks are just as interesting. They have connected blocks and there are a lot of custom blocks for all kinds of themes. So you'll want to give this mod a try. You'll find its content rather fresh in comparison to mainstream decoration mods. This mod adds a shader option for the Vulkan mod. For those of you friends unaware of it, Vulkan mod allows the game to run on set engine instead of OpenGL, resulting in impeccable performance gain. This mod doesn't allow shaders to run on Vulkan, only the built-in shader within it, but it's enough to add at least some level of graphical enhancement to this engine, all the while having incredible performance. This dude in the comments has been asking me for a tutorial on how to get a girlfriend, and it seems many of you friends support the idea. I dug up deep and found a mod that does just that, allowing you to get a girlfriend very easily. Just craft one or use commands. No more mirror talks and no more anxiety about your looks. This girlfriend will always be there for you, follow you anywhere, fight for you, and shower you with praises and love instead of accusations. With time, your relationship with her will grow rather than dwindle, so you'll find this mod very immersive and engaging. Alright man, you got it. Now stop spamming the same comment for God's sake. Alex's Mobs was finally ported over to Fabric. This is an unofficial release, but every bit as important. Huge ModPacks like Prominence for example will be able to take advantage of Alex's Mobs now, as this port works on both 1.20.1 and 1.21.1. It's also very stable with no strippings or instabilities. You already know this mod, but the Fabric port has been anticipated ever since the mod was released in 2020, so it's a big deal. Be sure to not miss it out. This mod adds Doom gateways to Minecraft. To activate the gateways, you must obtain a Devil Eye through killing Endermen. The first gateway is very easy to beat, and you receive good rewards for surviving all the waves. Amongst the rewards, there will be a Devil Eye level medium. Here where things begin to sting. Even with the netherite equipment, I was chewed up by the first wave. The second and third wave felt near impossible, and I died several times. Defeating the medium gateways grants handsome loot, and a hard level Devil Eye. I wouldn't even think of surpassing this level alone, as there will be a lot of mobs and all of them are empowered to deal life-ending damage. This mod reminds me of Gateways to Eternity mod, but it remains unique in that it supports Fabric, as well as featuring entirely different mechanics and textures. Metus Oblita is a mod about occultism and black magic. You can now sign contracts with the devil to set up specific rituals and slaughtering sacrificial lambs next to the altar. The result will be a fluid you can mix with a syringe and use to mutate mobs across your world. Should the animal survive the procedure, it will grow to be one of the many cursed and forsaken creatures within this mod. Some of them are as large as dinosaurs. I really like this mod. The theme here is a unique mixture of science and black magic, so give it a try if you are interested in that theme. And finally, we have a simple mod that allows you to put a chest on your Happy Ghast. This idea is on point. Players usually mount the Happy Ghast to build, so storing a couple of stacks inside the Happy Ghast itself can be plenty helpful. This mod is best used with Happy Ghast Mayhem, which makes Happy Ghast faster. This way you have Happy Ghast that are faster and more useful whilst building. Thanks for watching. Last episode, we went over mods adding new members to the raid, mods making the oceans extremely unsafe to travel, mods with unique boss fights, and mods that came to revive and reimagine classical mods. Be sure to check that out. Subscribe and turn on the bell to keep up with my videos. And consider using Bind Hosting. You get a 30% discount when you use my code ENDER, and you support the long-term development of our channel. Thanks in advance, my friend, and I'll see ya in the next one.